Friends, 928 days of war between Russia and Ukraine. In southern war zone on Kherson front, Russian army captured Belarudi Island. Its Recce group also probably infiltrated north of this island into Korabela Island. On Zaporozhye front towards Orikho sector, the positional battle is on and so is in the Remivka salient. No significant changes. Coming to east, on Marinka front, Russians have entered in rest of Krasnogorivka after Ukrainians withdrew and further advanced north and northwest of it. Russians' offensive operations on in east and west flanks of Ugledar direction and also on the highway of Ugledar to Konstantinivka. There have been no report on any significant changes. Avdiivka-Pokrovsk, Russians' offensive operation in northeast of Pokrovsk is on, and by now they fully control Lysivka and entered Ukrainsky from east and south direction and also towards Hirnik. As per ISW, they have also entered in central part of Gordivka and marginally advanced northwest and west of Mikhailivka and south of Novogradivka. Toretsk, Russian army recaptured northern part of New York and southeastern part of Nepilivka, which was taken over by Ukrainians 2 days before in their counterattacks, and advanced till Mikhailo, Grushevsky Street. Fate of phenolic factory is not known, probably under Ukrainian army. Bakhmut, Chasiv Yar and Sivers'k sectors. Positional battle continuing on almost all the fronts, but at lower intensity. No significant changes reported. Northeast Ukraine, that is Kupyansk, Swato, Kreminna direction. Russians advanced towards Nevsky and Novosadovo. As per ISW, they also advanced in southern part of Sinkivka and have seized it. However, I have not seen this information elsewhere, unless it is reporting the old one. North of Kharkov, that is towards Slobozhanske direction, heavy fight on in Vovchansk and also in Lipsty area. The heavy artillery from Russian as well as from Ukrainians, who are also using massive number of UAVs continuing. That is, war of attrition is pretty high. No significant changes as far as territorial gains or losses are concerned. Kursk Oblast, Korenivo district, Russians recaptured positions in east of Korenivo. Sudza district, Ukrainians advanced north of Progrevki towards outskirts of Khitrovka. They retook farms of Nadim. Fight is on in Borok and Kamishevka area in Vishnevka direction. Russians retook half of Cherkaskoye, Perekhnoe. The uses of UAVs are quite large as far as Ukrainians are concerned. And it must also be noted that the fronts in Kursk have been drawn concretely now, and gaps and grey zones have been plugged by and large by the Russian army, or rather would say that they have diminished, which was about a week or two earlier, which we could call a floating front, but it does not exist anymore, and on many fronts positional battle have replaced the earlier way of fight. That means advancing quite fast with the help of sabotage and reconnaissance group which Ukrainians used. Interdiction missions quite heavy from both the sides using UAVs, medium and long range missiles, as well as artillery. Zelensky has warned Iran for having transferred about 1,000 medium range missiles. This would help Russians to preserve their long range missiles to use deeper inside Ukraine. Palestine Israel Middle East Houthis have claimed to hit 8 American MQ-9 Reaper drone, which costs approximately $30 million. Otherwise, as far as Gaza Strip is concerned, all along the fight is continuing by both the armies, and also situation is similar with the Lebanon border, where both the sides are using rockets and missiles to attack each other. In West Bank, the Israeli security forces are continuously raiding, and the resistance is on from the Palestinian people. And interesting information, UK is planning to send its prisoners to Estonia as their own prisons are overflowing. By the way, when Tories were in power, they had this plan in their mind and were surveying various prisons in Estonia, which is not new for them because they have been accepting prisoners from different Baltic states on payment. But then the Labour Party has opposed it, and now they themselves are looking forward for this temporary solutions which is springing out from the deep, irreconcilable capitalist contradictions. And there are heavy protests in Israel, London, and elsewhere against the war in Middle East as well as in Ukraine. Say no to NATO, say no to war, but unable to force their governments to stop helping war industries. And that's all. Thank you.